Today's class is all about how to be a mom when you feel like crap. And I'm a mom and I feel like crap lately. So I thought this would be an appropriate class to bring back from the archives. I just sharing personally, real quick, I came down with COVID in December and I'm still dealing with sort of like the long haul COVID effects. I've got like crazy fatigue going on still 7 weeks later. And I know that so many of you out there are going through stuff that makes it hard to be a mom right now. So we thought this class from Noelle would be so fitting. So check it out.
Hi, I'm Noelle, the resident expert in what to do when you're a mom and you feel like crap, because I do all the time. But I feel like maybe the first thing I should tell you, and before we jump into this, is actually I hate being on camera, so much so that I'm not even on Marco Polo. But I'm here today because I care about you. And if you're a mom and you're out there and you're sick and you're struggling, I hope that my experience can help you. So maybe a couple things you should know about me. I grew up in New York. I'm Italian, so you're gonna see a lot of these babies talking today. I have 2 kids, and my whole life I've been high energy, really driven, ambitious. I'm kind of career oriented. I'm actually in a hotel room right now. You can see it right here. I'm here for work in Miami. But up until about 2 years ago, I was on a fast track in my career. And then my husband found me one night having a grand mal seizure in bed. I was shaking uncontrollably, paralyzed on the left side of my body, couldn't see, couldn't speak. And we have spent the last 2 years trying to figure out what is wrong with my brain. And we found out I have neurological Lyme disease, and that causes a host of symptoms like I have numbness and tingling all down my body. I lose my hearing multiple times a day. I forget words or things people tell me or things I told people I would show up and do. Oops. I have debilitating fatigue, and there are days that I can't even get out of bed to care for my children. And in sharing this on social media and being really transparent about what I'm going through, I've heard from moms who have cystic fibrosis and lupus and alopecia and Addison's disease and depression and chronic fatigue syndrome, going through a divorce and are struggling with that. And you don't really see a lot of that, and you don't know if you're going through it, that other people are out there. So if you're watching this and you feel like crap, I do too. I know how hard it is. And I'm hoping that some of the things I share today will help you to feel better. So the first thing I wanted to share with you is in your strategy for feeling better, to climb out of this crappy place, is to find small things that improve your health. And then do all of them. So when I first got sick and we didn't know what it was, I couldn't go and read about what to do for neurological Lyme. I didn't know what that was or that I had it. But I started reading online about people who had neurological degenerative diseases and what they were doing. And I found a whole list of crazy, wacky things people were doing, and sometimes awesome. And I tried all of them that were low risk and low cost, right? If I didn't have to go spend thousands of dollars, fine, I'll try it. And if it helps, I'll stick with it. And whatever your current state or situation or condition is, you can find these things. You can be your own science experiment and do them. And then once you find something that helps a little bit, just hold on to it. Because as you continue to do that and a host of other things, and it all starts to sing from the same songbook, you can lift and kind of shift how you're feeling. So for me, and I'll share with you all the things that I've done and do, all of these things can improve my state 10%. And if I'm only operating at 30% on a given day, that's really, really meaningful. Okay, so the things that I do, and if you want to know more about it, I could tell you, but I'm not going to take the time here. I do lavender Epsom salt soaks every night. I drink celery juice in the morning. I drink hot water with lemon at night to help cleanse my liver. I take a ton of herbal supplements to boost my system. I got diagnosed with a thyroid disorder and an adrenal disorder, so I take things that support that. I do energy healers. I try everything. I pray. I practice acts of gratitude to kind of pull me out of feeling bad about being sick. all of the things, right? I'm trying to think of everything else. Oh, yes, the most important one that I do, right? My husband and I have tried this and tested it. If I can get 8 to 10 uninterrupted hours of sleep consecutively for a few days in a row, changes entirely my ability to function. And I know that that's a hard ask when you have small kids, but you have to find what works and protect it and find a way to pull it together and make it happen. So for me, between celery juice and herbal supplements and not eating gluten, dairy, or sugar, and sleeping and lavender soaks, I am starting to be able to function. It's why I get to be here in Miami. So find what those are for you and start doing them, and hopefully you'll see a meaningful change. So the second one, the number 2 thing that you can do that actually probably maybe is the number 1 thing you can do, is what I call building your bench. And this essentially means find the people who can help you when you are not well enough to do it yourself. And it's so hard to ask for help, right? But you need it, especially if you're feeling like crap. And so there are different strategies that you can do. I think sometimes as mothers, we are looking for a caregiver who can step into our shoes and do what we do. That is not what we are looking for, and that is not what you need. You need someone who your children can have fun with and be safe with for a few hours while you recover, right? Lower that bar and find all sorts of different kinds of help. I have built out a bench that includes family and friends and just people in my community who have offered to help, and I take them up on those offers. So I have a wonderful mother-in-law who flies in from the other side of the country anytime I'm at my absolute worst, like literally unable to get out of bed. And she shows up and she'll take my kids for 7 to 10 days. Drop-offs, pick-offs, meals, everything, right? She's on my bench. My mother happens to live close by. And if your family doesn't, that's okay, right? You can find these people. She is excellent at picking kids up from school and making dinner, right? I think a full day of childcare is a lot for her, but there are little things that she can do. And that's what you have to do when you're building your bench. You have to find the people who are willing to help and then what their strengths are, right? My sister is so good at taking my kids for a day. They actually ask if they can go with Aunt Erica, right? And then I have a host of babysitters that I use. So I have a nanny who moonlights for me when she's not with her other family. I have 2 paid babysitters. I have a high schooler, and my kids love, love, love to go to the park with her or play puzzles and games in the attic with her. And I have a neighbor next door who can come over and play with my kids if I just need to nap for a couple of hours in the house. And all of these things together make it so that when I'm in need, and I call one person and they're not available, or my mom's out of town, or whatever it is, I have enough people behind me that I can get through the hard times at different price points, at different availabilities, and with different strengths. And so when you're building your bench, keep that in mind, right? Keep their schedule availability and have kind of a cross mix of that. Price availability, I mean, you don't want to spend thousands of dollars a month getting coverage, right? So find different ways to do that. And then what they're good at, if it's pickups or meals or bedtime or just playing and keeping them occupied. And that is, I think, a strategy for success when you're really not feeling well. Okay, last thing from me for the moms who feel like crap. This whole chronic illness, being debilitated situation has been really, really hard for me, especially as I think about how I'm kind of like achievement oriented and love gold stars and praise, and I can't exercise, so I can't count the calories that I burn or the miles that I ran. I'm not in a professional full-time environment like I was, so there aren't salary increases or promotions, and I can't be the stay-at-home mom I thought I would be, taking my kids out to do all of these fun things because I have no energy. And when I start to focus on what I can't do, I spiral. It's bad. It's really, really easy to feel terrible when you can't show up, right? So what I decided was that I was gonna change my KPIs. That's my third thing for moms who feel like crap. Change how you are evaluating success. Just temporary for this chapter, right? That's not to say that you have to let go of your career or being a killer stay-at-home mom or exercising or any of those things that matter to you. But right now, in the midst of this tempest, You have to find a different way to be successful. And it has to be things that you can succeed at, right? So I'll share what I did. It might be different for everybody. So when I first got really sick, was in bed for 26 days in a dark room, no lights, no sound, nothing, and had a really hard time just getting through every day. And I started to think, this is no way, this is not a life. Who wants to live this way? And focusing on the time that I was losing with my kids and the place that I was losing at work, and that did not work for me. So I thought, what have I always wanted to do that I've never done? And I've always wanted better skin, because Italians are like super oily. You can see it all around here. And so I invested in all of the skincare products. I got a personal microdermabrasion machine to do at home. I have a microneedler, and that is something that I can do from bed. I can lather it on, I can sit there and it can absorb, and my skin can improve even though my brain is malfunctioning, right? So that was one for me. The other thing that is about to happen is I had braces, and then my teeth got kind of messed up, and I've always wanted to fix them. So I'm getting Invisalign because I can do that from bed. Look, see? These beauties are going to be so much better in a couple of months. And that kind of progress or accomplishment helps me to feel better when I can't do anything else. And they're not all superficial or about beauty. Another one for me was continuing to learn and develop. And with all of this time in bed, I can read books and listen to podcasts. I now love Eckhart Tolle. You might too. And I try to track and keep count of the books that I'm reading or what I'm learning, so that I can feel a sense of forward progression when I might just be physically treading water. And those are some things. So whatever it is that you are struggling with, or that has you down, or you don't feel successful with, just change what you're evaluating for this chapter so that you can feel successful and feel like there are wins that are happening even though you're getting through this hard thing. That's all from me. I hope you found it helpful. If you are a mom who feels like crap and you want to talk about it, message me at Noelle Nicolai. I promise I'll get back to you. It's nice to have a community of people who understand. And if you're not a mom who feels like crap, congratulations. I'm so thrilled for you. I can't wait to join your ranks whenever that might be. So that's all from me. Have a great day. Bye.